Going on, everyone? Welcome to this quick altcoin update. Uh, Last week, 7 days ago, I mentioned for you guys to give me some coins, whether there be some altcoins you're planning on entering, planning on taking profits at, and try to give you guys a bit of time, but only a few of you requested some altcoins. So we're just gonna go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 coins. Okay, so Saja and Rach Voon, thank you for your submissions. So let's start off with Saja with AGS USDT. So you are looking to get into a trade at 0.006 and you took profit at 0.01 and you're still writing the rest. So um, let's go to EJS on Gate.io. So again, I appreciate you really appreciating entering all these descriptions and where I can find them, TradingView or the DEX tools. But anyway, all right. So weekly time frame. It looks like we did this before in Coin. Um, It looks like we initially had TA'd it here at this apex, but let's clear up the chart and see what we're working with here. So starting from left to right, we have this weekly origin resistance, which has been tested. We can actually turn this daily into a weekly now. All right. So this is the new apex on on the weekly time frame. We can actually turn this into weekly now as well. Actually, no, we can't. We can't turn that into the weekly yet because there's no green candle. Okay, until we find a green candle confirmation. Let's say if this candle ends up being green, then you'd move it here, and then that would be the local apex here, right? But there's still 3 more days left until this weekly candle close. So we're just going to leave this here for now and see what we can do on the daily, okay? But in regards to the weekly time frame, we have this weekly downtrend. We have this weekly tested support now, right? This is a nice bounce on the weekly time frame. Untested levels, there's always a very high chance of it breaking. So therefore, you see that nice bounce. That's automatically 11% gain just by buying off of the support. Um, this weekly no longer held, and the reason why is because this has, been tested numerous times, right? And the more tests on a support, the weaker it gets because there's just the interest dies over time. Okay, so we're going to delete this weekly. And yeah, is there anything we can mark on the weekly? No, there's not. So let's just make this dotted. And we're going to go on the daily. And we're going to go back to this daily level. Okay, so let's start from left to right. Holy cow. All right, nice. So swing low to the next swing low resulted in the perfect textbook test against this weekly uptrend and the support and the uptrend here. So yeah, this has been in existence since 2023, guys. I promise you, I didn't just marked it, just because it looks and it fits well. It's because it's the right one. That's why I like to start from left to right to get the most historical, just making sure we get the most accurate trend lines, right? And by doing that, you start from left to right, and that's what we did here. So from swing low, right, you move this here, then you evolve to the next red candle, and that's where we're left at. So we have this weekly downtrend. Okay, it looks nice, but is there anything else we can mark to narrow it down? Yes, we can. So we have that weekly. Let's array this from here to there. Okay. That was the local apex. It broke out. So we're going to move here to there. And we're going to make this red because we're on the daily time frame. So we're narrowing it down because Saja, you want, um, okay, hopefully you took profit at 0.11. Okay, perfect. You took entry at 0.66, which you're still in profit actually. Great. So even after this correction, I mean, so let's narrow it down even more. Okay. Okay. So what we're looking at here now, okay? So we have this very steep downtrend, right? which has been respected until it hit the weekly. So right now, this this weekly is a support. It was originally an untested support. Now it's tested, and there's a nice 10% bounce on the weekly. Okay, so Saja, if you're in this coin already and you got in at 0.66, really good on you. But the difference from 0.66 to where it's at right now, um, let me take this magnitude off. So 0.66, that's about a 5%. So you're still in profit even with a lot of these coins retracing. So that's very good that you did that. The whole point of getting these entries is getting in before the move has happened, and that's what you exactly um, uh, 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 showed us that you know what you're doing, right? Um, so in regards to exits, okay, um, assuming that you're still in this, I think either you can continue holding it, right? So if we look at right, if you look at DXY, it looks like it's starting to move back up again. Bitcoin, yes, there's a green candle, but again, remember we said we still have to be cautious of how this support holds because if it doesn't, it's going to fall. So when you have that into consideration, right, with altcoins like Engine, oh wait, I'm sorry, shoot, with coins like AEJS, we have to bounce back and forth to make sure that strategy makes sense. Okay, so you can have stops a few percent below this weekly. So if they do get hit, right, you either are still in profit by like 2% to cover fees, etc. Or you can, break even, maybe lose 0.5% just because, we have to consider fees. So that is my opinion on protecting yourself, right? If you got in at 0.666, um, yep, give yourself some wiggle room, okay? Um, because if this weekly breaks, that stop will trigger and avoid you from losing even more money into the negative, losing, more money. But as of right now, you're still in profits. So you can have that stop a few percent below, right? And just keep watch on this weekly tested level. It's a weekly support, so there's a very high chance of it supporting the move and moving forward up. But if we go on the 4-hour time frame, let's see. Okay, there's a nice volatile V-shape, price action. So let me just move magnitude on. Um, let's kind of just go through, the motions, going through left and right, making sure we got all these levels accounted for. So that's the weekly, I'm sorry, 4-hour. Let's make these blue because these are 4-hour levels. All right. Um, okay, same trend line that brought it down is the same trend that brings it up, and that's what happened here, and it's retesting it. Very good sign. All right. And now let's go to the 1-hour and see if we're missing any information. Okay, nothing as of right now. Okay, so as of right now, again, you have the opportunity to make an exit now at point, at pretty much at this range right here. It's obviously in distribution. There was a rejection at this resistance, so you can make the decision to sell here, right? Um, or you can make the decision to hold on to whatever bag you have left and continue writing it, assuming that the weekly will hold. And the weekly will hold if Bitcoin continues to hold that daily support. Okay, so if the daily support breaks on Bitcoin, then there's a higher chance of this also falling below the weekly. So again, I wish it was just easy as steps 1, 2, 3, but you're constantly bouncing between Bitcoin and these altcoins. Okay, so either you sell here now, right? Or you can continue holding it with expectation that it's going to move up higher to this 4-hour, or heck, maybe even up to this daily downtrend, right? It's really up to you. But in the current moment, that's your pretty much the routes you're looking at. Um, and if it does go on the downside, right? Let's say if it does go fall on the weekly, and it starts to break down, again, give yourself a few percent. It's up to you whether to give you want a 4%, 5%, because if it breaks below this daily uptrend, along with this weekly support, that really wouldn't be good for this coin. I could most certainly see a pretty volatile fall if that happens. So yeah, those are pretty much your two routes that you're looking at. I'm gonna go over the first two and then the first two for Rach, and then move on further. Maybe save for another video because going through each one will take um, a very good amount of time. Wait 1 second. So let me just see the ones that you put here. Um, Okay, so these are trades you actually got into. So I'll do the first two for you, and then I'll do the final four possibly be on Friday or tomorrow. But for now, let's stick with the ones that you're actually in the trade with. So we're gonna do BFI, and I believe you said you're on KuCoin. Good. So you got in at a 0.38 after launch date. 38, 0.38 after launch date. All right. Hmm. Okay, so it looks like you're currently in the negatives. So let me just start off with making these daily downtrends and see what we're working with. Just to see if we can save whatever you have currently in this trade. So I'm just marking out the macro perspective of things. Okay, perfect. Let's mark that 4 hour now. That blue. Okay, there's that local breakout. We can make our uptrends. This evolves. That becomes okay. That's actually downtrend, but then we evolve it from here to there. Perfect. All right. So you got in at 0.38. Let me just mark that here. All right. Point. I'm just running it, straight 38,000. You know what? Let me just enter it manually. Coordinates. All right. So that was your entry. Let's make this dashed. So 0.38, that was your entry. And I don't know if you're still in it, but you're currently minus 34, 35%. Um, your best bet, and personally, I think, is just, I mean, 35% is a lot to take into account for a loss. Either you can accumulate while it's in accumulation right now, right? It's in accumulation, it's making a higher low, which is a very good sign where, it's creating a ladder. And pretty much what we see these numerous times, and what happens with these ladders is that um, it's pretty much setting itself up for a higher move, right? Hopefully out of this daily apex. And either you can reaccumulate to dollar cost average, better entry, right, from 38, which would, obviously take more capital. Or, I mean, I would just hold it. Out of financial advice, but I would just hold it. I mean, I'm down almost, that's 30, that's a good chunk. So either hold it because it's fairly new. It's new. It looks like you just mentioned that it was on launch date at 38 cents. So again, a lot of these altcoins, a lot of these new coins that just launched, all relatively look the same, where it's followed by something like this, and sometimes it does break out of that daily downtrend to go in price discovery, and then either you can ride from there or sell immediately after that. But in my opinion, like if I was in the position that you're in and I'm down 35%, either I would just hold it. If the fundamentals are very strong, really good, then maybe double down. That's really up to you as a trader if you plan on holding the long, or even have enough capital for that. Um, and the worst thing you do is also selling at a loss, right? So right now it's in accumulation. It's breaking out of the local apex, and yeah, that's if anything you'd want to at least break even, right? So at 38. unfortunately, that happens, right around where that daily downtrend is. So, in my opinion, again, I don't like personally buying coins that are already in distribution, whether if they're new or old. That's just some of the consequences you have to face when you buy a coin when it's pumping. So, um, that would be, my how I would handle it. Um, I mean, we can mark, levels and resistances here, but obviously, like you're still will be at a loss even if you do sell at these ranges. So like right now, it's retesting this origin level. You have these are all like tested levels. Even this is a tested level. So there is a good chance of breaking above these. It's just that, selling is where the daily downtrend is, okay? So you have to take into consideration that it's also a heavy resistance. So if it does go here and it goes into price discovery, then, good for you. You're making profits. But as of right now, up until it hits back 38 cents, you're going to still be in a loss, breaking even at this point. Sorry, which again falls in that daily downtrend. So be very mindful of that, and just take into consideration again of how Bitcoin's looking, right? So very very important that Bitcoin's holding this daily support. If it doesn't, then all coins will also fall, right? Just like what we just like for BFI and EGS and all these other altcoins, okay? So um, I'll do one more because you said you invested this around 79 cents, so I'll do Ondo. Okay, so Ondo and KuCoin. All right, starting off with the macro times. Okay, uh, okay, all right, cool. We got the daily set. Daily apex isn't until May. So a lot of these altcoins, like if you've been watching the altcoin videos, a lot of the apexes are also apexing in May. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, the daily, it's being respected by that daily. We have a 4-hour support in this region here. That is the 4-hour. Okay, perfect. Yep, 4-hour region there. And then you have this very tested daily support, 4-hour support here. It's an origin level. Again, I would not. This is not a level like I would target as an entry because it's just been tested so many times. The wicks are huge, meaning that and the insurance was very high in this range, and it just may not be as strong as it will be if it does retest around this region again. Um, all right, last red candle. Okay, cool. So just making sure we get all the levels right. Okay, all right, cool. So you have this accumulation range here. You have this accumulation range here. Um, take the magnet tool off. Um, and it's rejecting a 4-hour resistance. It's at 79 cents, so you're actually sounds like you're breaking even right now. Um, in my opinion, this is like an opportunity to hold actually because you have some nice support here on the 4-hour. The resistance getting tested. It's getting really tight against this apex. I wouldn't be surprised if it does end up retesting this daily uptrend, right? Like, possibly breaking below these, support range here below because, it's been tested, numerous times, right? So the more times it finds itself within this region, probably the higher chance of it actually breaking down below before on the daily uptrend. So you can have buys honestly within this green range and down below up until this daily support. Just keep in mind that if this daily uptrend breaks, then you're going to see a nice sizable jump, probably down to the next daily uptrend. So definitely something to consider, because you're currently in the range that you entered on. that's good. You're not currently in a loss, right? You're not currently maybe in a profit, but yeah, this is where currently the routes that you have to look at um, trading Ondo, okay? So okay, RW. Oh, nice. It's a real-world asset supported by BlackRock, Coinbase. Awesome. So, it sounds like they have really good fundamentals, very strong backbone, and you can see here, this daily uptrend has been supported for quite some time. So, yeah, maybe just wait till May. I mean, you got in a really good entry. You got in at, 70, 79. Maybe you can possibly add some more to your portfolio by accumulating within the range, in the accumulation range, or even on this daily uptrend to, dollar costs, to have get your average down. But overall, yeah, it sounds like it's a very strong coin. It's backed by very big companies, so maybe something to consider looking at myself. So yeah, I'd say wait until until May comes around and how it plays out for you. Honestly, I don't see a reason why you should be trading, day trading this coin. Um, but yeah, so Rach, I'm gonna look at these first three: Manta, Paddocks. You're looking for entry, which is good because the market is correcting right now. Perfect. Okay, Manta. Hopefully. All right, this looks like it's it. So with Manta, um, not really good sign. Okay, so um, obviously you have this support here on the daily time frame. That was pretty much its last resort, and the second it breaks that, it's just kind of just free falling. And there's a reason is because there's this one very strong uptrend, right? And once that breaks below it and you're this is sort of like price discovery kind of because if we go back to the theory where the same trend brings it up is the same trend that brings it down. On the daily it looks pretty nuts. It's just one daily candle. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna narrow things down. There's no reason for us to even TA in this left range here. We're just gonna do with what's most current because that's what's really gonna help us here. So that's the daily. Let's mark the bottom side. Okay, that's the daily, right? I'm not going to move it here, right? I'm going to move it here because nothing has hard closed below it just yet. So let's go to the 4 hour now, see how that's looking like. Are there any 4 hour levels here? No, there's nothing there. So at this point, you're very reliant on trend lines, okay? So what we're going to do here is that we're going to mark this downtrend here, slowly evolve it, and make this blue because we are on the 4 hour time frame. Perfect. So what you want to look out for is is that you just want confirmation that it stopped bleeding. And how do you confirm that? That's when you can see sideways price action, right? And it starts to ladder up. That's what you want to see. You want it to be at a point where you're making uptrends on smaller time frames, right? You don't want this coin, right? Yes, there's an apex here. Let's say it blows up, but you don't want it to continue making lower lows because the lower lows, yes, let's say it did, let's say it did test this level there. Oh, it's going to the moon, whatever. If it makes lower lows and starts to respect this daily downtrend, that's not something you want to get into. Um, Preferably I think there's a lot of time for you to look at this coin because it still has to enter an accumulation. It's still bleeding. Accumulation means sideways price action, and from from now until May, that's pretty much what you have to look out for within this space, okay? So you want to look at sideways movement, aka accumulation, and then when you get around that range, that's when you want to look into entering, right? You don't want to enter now. I don't think it's a good time to enter now, um, because you have this apex and it's respecting that lower low. It's just, wait until it at least respects this support here, okay? If it can respect that support here and it starts to, slowly ladder again, gets closer to the apex, which is also in May, um, those are the signs that you want to look out for. So when you're looking for entry, that's what you want to wait for. Um, Let me just make these dotted. Okay, so you still have a lot of time to accumulate this coin. Just make sure this is moving sideways, also called accumulation, and that's where we always enter paddocks. Cool. Paddocks, wow, what a big retracement. All right, perfect. Nice respect on the daily time frame. All right, let's see on the 4 hour time frame what we're working with here. Perfect, so that's what we're looking for. Okay, so just like Manta, this is something again you have to be um, you have to confirm about that. It's in a downtrend, right? um, when they're both pointing in a downtrend direction, not a good sign. But if this is a coin that you really want to get into, it's technically, pretty much a price discovery on the low end side. Um, but again, what you want to wait for is confirmation of, that the bleeding has stopped, right? And by doing that, right, we're gonna do that. Very, very, very similar to Manta. Okay, is that you want to confirm the bleeding has stopped by confirming that it's, by it moving sideways, okay? You don't want it to, oh my God, tested the untested, perfect, awesome, great. But if it starts to retrace back down and especially break below the support and it's just continue, respecting this, not a good sign. And yeah, very, very, very similar to, if anything, as pretty much just as close to Manta as we were just looking at. So, in regards to entry, you still have a lot of time to be, to get into this coin. The daily downtrend reaches the apex at around end of May, June-ish. So again, you have a lot of time to consider on accumulating this coin. So in the meantime, maybe look at other altcoins while you wait for this coin to find accumulation, and Manta as well. But for now, those two will just, pretty much just have to wait. But yeah, the other altcoins, guys, that you guys went over, I'm gonna go over either tomorrow or or the weekend, just because you guys haven't aren't actually in trades right now. So I'll look into the other altcoins just because it's honestly gonna be like an hour plus video. But yeah, hopefully that helps, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and really, I appreciate you guys submitting those altcoins because all these new coins are so much. It's great to see how some of these altcoins, coins that I can probably potentially get in as well. So again, take care, guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.